What's up, guys? Nolan here on our 6th day of pre-wipe events. No wipe yet, unfortunately, and again, also, unfortunately, no real clues from BSG on when that will be, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Staying on top of all this stuff takes up all my time these days, so if you like this video, there is a button for that. Subscribe for more like it, or jump into the comments to let me know what event you think will happen next to support the channel. The new pre-wipe event for today is something interesting, definitely new. BSG have added explosive shells for the Teases bolt-action shotgun in-game. They've also added Elephant Killer and Flechette Plus rounds. The Elephant Killer being a giant slug, flechette being, I guess, sharper flechettes, and the explosive shell being a less than lethal nerf round. Nope, just kidding, it fucking blows up in your face. Pretty sure it's the equivalent to getting hit directly with an impact grenade, as nobody seems to be able to survive getting hit directly with it, but maybe just being unlucky there. It's for sure very powerful, and you can craft all of these shells in your hideout, as well, of course, find them on all the bodies of the people running around with them. Just be very careful, because the durability burn on these are through the roof. You can get a malfunction at 100% durability with these new shells. The reason for that is because you crafted them yourself, so might not work that great. More on that later, though, because it's actually important. The combination of people running around with melee weapons while cracked out of their minds on Abdolbos and high skill levels being able to one-tap with the melee weapons because they do more damage anyway, and being blown to pieces with Teases makes for a very interesting time in game. I highly suggest that you check it out. For sure, only something that can happen during pre-wipe events. Speaking of wipe and time, we only have one actual clue left to when the wipe might actually happen, and it's not even something I'm comfortable getting behind anymore, so believe in this at your own risk for the time being. The reason why I don't want to get behind it is not because I don't think it's possible that it could be a thing, it's just that who knows anymore. The 26th is the new wipe day theory for us. The reason why is because in the second event, BSG put some random numbers in the picture, and when you decode them into a matrix, you get the number 26. This could be confirmation bias, it could be the wrong thing to look at, or we could be only working with half the puzzle while the other half hasn't been given to us yet, or we missed it somewhere else. We do not know. The only thing we do know is BSG won't tell us anything, so we have nothing else to go with. Also, a reminder, last wipe they did something very similar where they even straight up gave us a date where in the past that date represented the wipe date in a similar fashion, then ended up doing the wipe day the day before. So not only could this not be the right date, but it could be the right date and they'll just do the date whenever they feel like it anyway. If you want to cling to a date, then the 26th is all that we have. All the other dates that you were hearing from anybody else is either a complete guess or people hoping that BSG fail at their goal of releasing their patch, so they're just making another complete guess, but it's going to be in the new year because BSG wanted to release the patch this year. So if people want to be optimistic, they're just picking a date that's between now and New Year's, and if they're being negative, they just pick a date that's a week or 2 weeks after the New Year's. The only actual solid information that we're still working with now for months is BSG did, and assuming still plan to, release a patch this year. Also on top of that, they have this Twitch Drops event in the works, which they've always tended to have those New Year's Twitch Drops events after a wipe. So since they said it's going to happen, and since it's going to be a week or two after the wipe happens, we think, at least BSG thinks, they'll have the wipe any day now. That is all that we have to work with. Now, going back to what we have today, we actually got some spicy theories popping up today through Twitter and today's pre-wipe event around content possibly in this new patch. First off, we have Arena, where in the Chronicles of Rizzy, they of course teased it at the end there, but also today, the head of public relations at BSG felt the need to just remind everybody that the Arena Twitter exists. Nikita did say in his last interview that we will be seeing more of Arena very soon, so we'll see what comes of this, whether it's in this next patch or they just post something on that Twitter. I'll keep an eye out and let you guys know more once I do. Then we have the interesting descriptions on the new shells that we got today. Each of the new shells mentioned being homemade, and 2 of them specifically mentioned being referenced from a magazine named Homemade Reloads. For those who don't know, this is actually potentially a tease to 2 planned features coming to Escape from Tarkov: unique crafted ammunition loads and learning crafting recipes from finding books in the open world. It's been said for actually years now that BSG want to add the ability to load and craft your own unique ammunition in your hideout, whether it be sniper ammunition, you could possibly add a bit more powder or a different kind of powder to it, or shotgun shells that you can put interesting objects inside of. Nikita himself has in the past not said it was planned, but agreed that it would be cool to have in the game, but that was years ago, and there's some secrets coming this patch, so maybe they plugged that in this patch. We'll have to wait and see. Then we have the feature around finding books that teach you how to craft certain items. This was confirmed by Nikita in his last interview, but wasn't directly confirmed to be in this next patch, just something that they were planning to add. And for those that don't know, the more unique or the more difficult items or the more rare items, things you know just Joe Schmo wouldn't be able to craft in their dungeon, for those kinds of things, you would need to go and figure out how to craft those things, which there's going to be books around Tarkov that if you read, you will then be able to craft those items, on top of having to have the station and the materials to actually be able to craft the item too. This was all talked about by Nikita in his most recent interview. I'll have those videos linked in the description as well as at the end of the video if you want to check those out. There was a ton of other stuff that he also talked about too. So obviously this is a direct reference to that feature, and I think it's possible this is a hint that there will be a book named Homemade Reloads, or maybe books that if we find it or them or a certain version of it or whatever, it will allow us to craft certain ammunition in our hideouts when the day comes. So those bookstores on Interchange and the library and Crack House on Customs will for sure get a bit more interesting. To wrap it up for today, we're back to just waiting and seeing where the events bring us. The only date that we have any reference to is the 26th, and the only reason we have that is because a random string of numbers that we may or may not have decoded correctly, and even if we did, BSG just might not use that date anyway. Regardless though, I will be here to navigate through the info that we do have, so for the minute by minute stuff, you need to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both linked below. But that's going to do it for today, guys. If you like this video, there's a button for that. Subscribe for more like it, or jump in the comments and let me know what you think will happen next. For the latest news, check these videos and playlists out on your screen right now. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.